Welcome to the 99 Seconds Career Podcast. My name is Jürgen Schmid. I am a career mentor and coach, consultant, teacher and speaker. Every other week, we'll bring up all kinds of career aspects in a way you have maybe never heard before. In 99 seconds or a bit more. Welcome back to the show. I'm glad you're here. Artificial intelligence is everywhere right now. Do you agree? People are not just hearing about AI in the news, they're bumping into it in their everyday life. From recommendation algorithms to chatbots and tools like ChatGPT. And the more present it becomes, the more it divides opinion. A lot of us feel curious and even excited about the possibilities, but concerns and unease are growing just as fast. It does not come as a surprise that AI also plays a role in the recruiting process that organizations have in place, as well as a tool that job seekers are using. In this episode, I want to shed some light on both sides to see what implications this has for us. But before we dive into the topic, a little disclaimer here. What we say about AI today, it's June 2026, is just a snapshot of a moving target. As the technology, the laws around it and our own habits change, some of today's worries will fade. New risks will appear and the whole conversation could look completely different very soon. But nevertheless, as artificial intelligence has quietly moved right into the heart of how companies hire people, it's worth understanding what is currently going on. Let's dive into the 99 seconds and find out which role AI plays during hiring and job seeking and what it means for you as a candidate. Let's start with a simple observation. If you have applied for a job online in the last few years, chances are you have already met AI. You just didn't see it. It might have been the system that scanned your CV, the chatbot answering your questions, or the tool that decided whether your profile gets in front of a human recruiter or not. So, what are companies actually doing with AI in recruiting? First, AI is taking over a lot of the repetitive work in the hiring process. Thinking of tasks like parsing hundreds of CVs, ranking candidates by how well they match a job description, or scheduling interviews across 5 busy calendars. For a recruiter, this used to be hours of manual work. Now, AI systems do a big chunk of that in the background, which means roles can be filled faster and with less administrative hassle. Second, AI is changing how companies find you in the first place. Instead of posting a job and waiting, many tools now proactively search huge databases and social networks to suggest potential candidates. These systems look at your skills, your experience, sometimes even the wording of your profile, and then recommend you for roles you might have never seen. That can open doors, especially for people with non-traditional backgrounds. And third, AI is becoming a writing assistant inside HR. Job descriptions, outreach messages, social media posts. More and more of this content is at least drafted by AI. Recruiters then refine and humanize it. On the positive side, that can mean clearer, more inclusive language and faster communication. Many see AI in recruiting as a powerful lever. It promises speed, scale, and better matching. Used well, it can free recruiters to spend more time building relationships, understanding team culture, and making thoughtful hiring decisions. But it's not all sunshine and efficiency. If AI is used badly, it leads to very generic copy and paste style job ads that all sounds the same. It hides unfair decisions behind a glossy interface and creates a hiring experience for the candidates that feel mechanical and opaque. The moment you bring in algorithms into hiring, you also bring in new risks. AI systems learn from historical data, and if that data is biased, the system can reproduce or even amplify that bias. That might mean systematically favoring certain schools, certain career paths, or certain demographic groups without anyone explicitly intending to discriminate. And because a lot of these systems operate like a black box, it's often hard for candidates to understand why they are filtered out. It is a well-known fact that AI sometimes filters out candidates that would have been a perfect fit for the role. But there is also the candidate's experience. Imagine going through an entire recruitment process where you never speak to a real person, where every update is automated, and where your interview is a one-way video analyzed by software. Even if the technology works perfectly, many people find that cold and dehumanizing. And that feeling directly affects the employer brand. If candidates feel reduced to a data point, they will talk about it. So, where does this leave us? For you, as a candidate, it means two things. First, you're not just writing for human eyes anymore, you're also writing for algorithms. Clear structure, relevant keywords, and concrete achievements matter more than ever in your CV and your online profiles. Second, it's okay to ask questions. If you're in a process that feels heavily automated, you can ask, how is technology being used in your hiring process? Or, will a human review my application? The companies that take AI and ethics seriously would be able to give you a clear, confident answer. But as companies are using AI more and more, so do the job seekers. Let's have a look how that might look like. Imagine you're in the middle of a job search. I want to talk you through what that looks like if you're using AI as your personal co-pilot. You wake up, coffee in hand, and instead of scrolling endlessly through generic job boards, you open a platform that uses AI to recommend roles. It has learned from your skills, your past experience, and even the kind of jobs you've clicked on before. Within a few minutes, you've got a curated list of positions that actually fit you, including a couple you might have not considered on your own. Maybe a role in a different sector that still matches your core skills. Next step, tailoring your application. You paste the job description and your current CV into an AI tool and ask, what's missing? It highlights the keywords this employer seems to care about, specific tools, methods, or soft skills, and suggest ways to bring out the most relevant part of your experience. You let it draft a first version of your CV and a cover letter, but you don't just accept it blindly. You go through, correct the tone, add real examples, and make sure every claim is true and in your own voice. The AI gives you speed and structure, you provide the authenticity. Then you tackle the online application form. Instead of retyping the same information for the 10th time, you use AI to help you store your core answers and adapt them quickly to each company. When you write answers to those dreaded "tell us about a time" questions, you ask the tool to help you structure your stories using STAR: situation, task, action, result. Again, you refine, you fact-check, you adjust the language, but the blank page problem is gone. Once the application is out, you switch into interview prep mode. You feed the job description into an AI interview coach and ask, what are the 10 most likely questions for this role? It generates a list plus some follow-up questions a hiring manager might ask. You practice your answers out loud and even record yourself. Some tools will analyze your response lengths, your use of filler words, maybe even your facial expressions, and then gives you feedback. It's not perfect, but it's like having a patient practice partner on demand. Later in the week, you use AI for career reflection. You ask, looking at my CV and this type of role, what skills am I missing? The system compares your profile to current market data and suggests concrete skills like a specific analytics tool, a programming language, or a project manager certification. It even might recommend learning resources so you can start closing those gaps while you're still applying. That's the day in the life of an AI assistant job seeker in 2026. Less time fighting with formatting and forms, more time thinking strategically about where you want to go and how to tell your story in a way that really lands with a human being at the other end of the process. Because throughout all of this, one thing doesn't change. You are in charge. The AI is not your substitute, it's your assistant. It helps you find better fit roles. It speeds up the boring parts and it gives you ideas and feedback. But your job is to keep it honest, human, and specific to you. We have seen that AI can be a fantastic co-pilot in your job search, but it's not risk-free. I want to quickly walk you through the main pitfalls so you can use AI smartly without letting it quietly sabotage you. First, authenticity. When you let AI write your CV or cover letter from scratch, it often sounds polished but generic and very similar to what thousands of other candidates are generating. Recruiters are starting to notice that AI tone, and for some it's a red flag. They're not just hiring a skill set, they are hiring a person. If your application doesn't sound like you, you've already lost something important. Second, accuracy. AI is brilliant at sounding confident even when it's wrong. If you copy-paste without checking, you can end up with skills you don't really have, responsibilities you never held, or buzzwords that don't fit your profile. That might help you get an interview, but it will absolutely hurt you once someone starts asking detailed questions. Third, over-reliance. The danger is that you outsource your judgment to the algorithm. If you only apply to jobs the AI recommends, or if you only follow its advice on what fits you, you may stop asking the deeper questions. Do I really want this? Does this culture suit me? Am I just playing to my past, not my future? So the takeaway is this: AI can absolutely help you, but only if you stay in the driver's seat. Use it to speed up the boring parts and to clarify your thinking, but keep the final decisions, the nuance, and the human story firmly in your hands. If you have a story, good or bad, about AI in recruiting, I'd love to hear it. Send me a message or email, and I might feature your experience in a future episode. I'd love to hear from you. Let's continue the conversation. If you like my approach towards career and professional development and want to get some more personalized guidance, please reach out. I am here to help. And please don't forget to subscribe, leave a comment, and share this episode with someone who could use a little extra career inspiration. Hope you enjoyed listening, and you will come back again in 2 weeks. We will then explore how we could stay motivated should our job search turns out to be more challenging than expected. Curious? Be sure to tune in for our next episode. But for now, thank you for listening and thinking along. I wish you success for the paths you're following or creating. My name is Jürgen Schmid, and until next time, be the difference, remain curious, and shine.